right, Kyrie Irving reportedly traded to the Dallas Mavericks for Dorian Finney-Smith, as well as Spencer Dinwiddie, and a first-round pick, and a couple second-rounders, and that's very interesting. Those picks are probably going to be able to do more for them in the long term, because I don't think that the Nets are going to be holding on to Dinwiddie or Finney-Smith for a whole lot longer. But obviously the big news story here, Markieff Morris, Kyrie Irving reportedly going to the Mavericks. It's not official yet, but we're going to get there. I'm sure all the details are going to be handled out. But it's surprising because only 2 days ago, we had Kyrie Irving report a trade from the Nets. A lot of people were focusing on him possibly going to the Lakers. This was 2 days ago. This was on Friday. And now we're seeing that he's going to the Mavericks. So very interesting, of course. Did not see this coming. I thought he was going to go to the Lakers. Obviously, him wanting to leave in a matter of fact, how is this supposed to lay over to the Nets, who have been working so hard to try and fit it all together? I'm just really surprised because the team has had very little success with all these superstars that they just have not been able to almost wait. They haven't been able to wait for the playoffs, and that has been the biggest problem. You need to realize that the whole season is a process. It's all collectively part of a process. It's not just about the superstars as well. This is affecting the other players on the team. I expected that the Nets would probably be in a play-in position, which is most likely what will end up happening. I also thought that the Sixers would be in a play-in spot, so I imagine that Harden or Embiid will probably take a couple weeks off, here or there. It's just what happens because health is not consistent in the NBA. Players refuse to play. I think Kyrie should be suspended for missing the game Saturday against Washington. He wanted to trade, but that's no excuse. And then, sore right ankle nonsense, all that crap, which I don't believe for a second he had because of all these injuries that are claiming to be real. Again, it's just not the case here. So huge for the Dallas Mavericks, obviously. I think it's going to be a great fit because with the Mavericks, they need to have someone else who can do what Luca does when Luca is on the bench or when he is not hitting his shots. And that is the biggest thing that I think they wanted Porzingis. They wanted that to be the case with him. Didn't happen. Dinwiddie shipping him back to the Nets. Unfortunately, he's just been moving around every year, and I feel bad for him because he's a really good player. But too many guards. I thought maybe a Hardaway would have gone, but he could probably start at the 3. So we're gonna have to see where that happens. Christian Wood probably, Klein off the bench. I'm imagining, Dorian Finney-Smith would have been good, but Markieff Morris can step in at the 4 and start, or he can come off the bench. They could have Dwight Powell in at the 4, probably Luca point guard, and then Kyrie 2 option, and then Hardaway at the small forward. So it looks like a good Mavericks team. A lot of people think that Durant might go to the Suns. It's almost as if because Kyrie is gone, that now people are thinking, okay, is your friend also available? Like who's single right now? And so we'll have to see what happens with Kevin Durant. I don't think he's going to get traded. I think that what he has been working on over the last year, trying to be healthy. Obviously, I expect him to return and play in the All-Star game, all of that. He's been working hard after requesting a trade last offseason from the Nets, not getting along with Steve Nash, obviously, and Joe Tsai agreeing that he should stay on. He probably would have left then and gone to the Suns then. So if he goes to the Suns, obviously, whatever, anything can happen. And the biggest thing about all of this is that we need to realize that these players do not owe us anything. We shouldn't expect them to be consistent or to say something and then they can change their mind. Okay, we are in their graces. Kyrie says he wants to stay in Brooklyn and decides to go to Dallas. He changed his mind. He can do that. And that is just another thing that the Nets and the Mavericks are now getting used to with all of these things. But I believe that the Mavericks have been actually trying to figure this out and get something to work with Luca because they're realizing how much of a great opportunity it is. If you combine him with another superstar, Porzingis, Dinwiddie, these guys were not it. They were not the answer, and clear as day. But yeah, I really hope Christian Wood gets back and that the team just consistently can get some reps in before the start of the playoffs and see what happens in the very crowded Western Conference now. Kyrie's in the West, so lots more to come.